in Genesis and Orion.
Okay, we're live again for part 2 over on YouTube. Part 2, going live for Genesis here.
Okay, past performance is not indicative of future results. And what I'd like to do, Jonathan, if you take that off the daily and put the 30-minute up there. Okay, what is that? About 600.
Yeah, I'm gonna make this.
35.
Yeah,
So we
I'm
had a
gonna make it.
reversal. Folks, if you look at the top of RB3 right there on the E-mini or on the QQQ, where's that top, Jonathan? 60, where's it? I'm trying to see it. Actual high number on RB3.
Okay, I'm gonna make this a little bit easier for us. Blank screen. The high of reference bar 3 on the S&P futures was 68.64.
And my pivot number today was 68.65. Okay.
Right there, yeah.
So that's why I picked that number. If you go back and look at RB1 last night, I think it was RB1 where I got it from.
RB1 last night, you got a blue bar labeled RB1 right here. And that open was 68.56, made a high of 68.64.75.
Yeah, so there's your number, folks, for today, 68.65. So if we get higher in 68.65, we go into a buy area and they start buying, buying the market. Does everybody understand that? Give me a yes if you understand what the market's telling us, okay? All right, now let's, if we will, why don't we look at GDX? GDX.
Symbol of the day here, GDX. There's a 30-minute.
Okay, if you notice GDX did something different than the QQQ did, go back to the QQQ and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Notice that the QQQ had a RB3 and we broke the low of that. See that right there, right after. Everybody see that? Now go back to GDX. GDX failed and reversed, and now we got a higher bar. And if GDX goes above, what's that, 100 and like about 120 or something like that, then GDX is going to go up. And I think GDX, just based on what happened with gold futures, I like GDX. I'd like to take a speculative play, Jonathan, looking at a $100 call, selling a 103 call, and selling it again and make it a buzz fly. I think that's a good trade. You can do it for around less than $1, I think.
What's your expiration?
17 days.
17 days, March 6th. And the 100, buying the 100, selling the 103 twice, and then buying the, you said 104 above?
Yeah, 104.
That's protection on that extra 103 call, and that's a broken wing butterfly we call the buzz fly. Time is marked at, it's a little wide, bid asked a little wide, but it's marked at 90.
I think you can get in on this trade at 94 cents. I like the trade. Why don't we put it into as a bonus trade in our silver wheel, and we'll do that trade. I like the trade. Stay at 72 hours.
Okay.
The target, Jonathan, would be 119.
119.
Yep, 119.
And I'll get that off to silver wheel. Bonus trade. If you're not in the silver wheel program, you want to take that trade, by all means take it. That's a 72-hour trade. Meaning if we haven't hit target in 72 hours, or if it's not paying us,
get out of it.
Check it out. Yeah.
That'd be Thursday. I think GDX has a lot to offer, and I want to start nibbling at it. And this is a good way to start it today on this marathon. Putting that out there. Trade. Any questions about this trade? Your total risk is 94 cents. Stayed and rode that baby into the cemetery, it'd be 94 cents. But if you use the 72-hour rule, you probably lose about, if you're down, you probably lose 10, 15 cents on Thursday. If you're up, should do pretty good. John, you can do that trade anywhere from 94 cents to $1. You have to work it. Yeah, probably a little premature, but I like the stock. I've been following it all ever since last night, this morning, Peg, and I think that I want to ease into it. It's a good time to do it. Okay. Let's go if we can. Why don't we go back to our slides and see what we got on the agenda?
Sure thing. I'm going to switch to a view of the QQQ back on February 4th, Tom, and I got this kind of progression of slides here for us.
Okay, tell me what we're doing.
All right, for the part two, you wanted to focus in on your Orion Telegram algo, and back on Feb 4th, the market was painting a pretty clear picture here for us, following our reference bar approach. So I think everybody here should get this one right, but do you know what those three reference bars that day were telling us? Long, short, or out? Long, type in long, short, or out into the Zoom chat. See if everybody's paying attention. All right, short, or if you don't want to go short, stay out. Either way, that's what the DTI reference bar approach was saying. If you had a roadmap software and you had the compass chart up so you could see those reference bars. Well, Tom's got an Orion program that's built to do it all for you automatically. It's in the Telegram channel. This was back on Feb 4th. It says pretty clearly market bias, bearish. Nice little chart there. It gives you for some visual confirmation, but Tom's new algo system, Orion, picked up the signal clear as day. It was bearish. It said bearish that day. And
Notice,
then it said,
Josh, let me interrupt you. Notice it was at 604 area, and the SPY right now is at 681. You think that thing had it right or what?
where's the QQQ? This is on the QQQ.
Is that a QQQ? 599.
Yeah.
599. It's been as low as 594 today.
And the question you might have is, how can we use this information and take advantage of it? Well, Orion goes that next step there too and gives you a signal that looks something like this. All right, said get short, the QQQ. This was back and forth.
Is that pretty simple to follow with Orion? Give me a yes if it is. If you can read that, that tells you exactly what to do. See, that's what I like about using this technology, because I might have been doing something else during that great opportunity during that time, but Orion was there. Look at that. You can use that for a lot of different things to get that signal, right?
Yep, sure thing. And looks like Orion was buying a 3-wide put spread, 88 cents. Market actually fell, QQQ fell nearly 2% the very next trade day. So that was ended up being a great trade there.
Pretty timely, wasn't it?
Sure was. Sure was. But that's the goal of Orion. It's, Tom mentioned the other day, he wants to get several of his strategies that he's been using for years and years and years to issue trades and make money personally, and also issue trades to everybody. He wants to automate those, and Orion is one of the newest, if not the newest. Can't remember exactly, but great little trade algo. Takes place all in the Telegram channel. If you go look at today, Tom, you've been talking all morning how it looks like the market might have made a low, but it still has some work to do to go bullish. So what would you expect Orion to say today? Look at that market bias. It says neutral. It's not setting up either long or short right now. So that's the goal of Orion, is kind of automate everything for you. So maybe you can look at it once or twice during the trade day, get a big picture viewpoint. So if you're on the go, you kind of have a real good picture of what's going on in the market that day. And if you're in front of your computer, then you can dig in as much as you want, but Orion's there to automate a few things for you during the trade day. Trading the QQQ.
Yeah, Friday it had the market short, Jonathan. It had the market short on Friday. Notice how it went from short to these lower prices. And now today it's got us neutral. And so after it goes short, a couple things going to happen. It's going to flop around here a little bit and then go back down, or it's going to reverse. And that would call a reversal here on Tuesday if that happens. It'd be pretty interesting. What I like about Orion, it takes the human element out of the analysis and really gives it to you pure and simple. And that's got to be better because, you get your biases. I do it after all these years. I get my biases, and being able to sit there and have a referee for yourself, that's going to save you some money. That's what I like about this Orion. Pretty cool. And you make some money because it gives you the option to buy on Friday, pop it, and then come back today, and it's neutral. So if it stays neutral, Jonathan, go back to the Orion reading today.
All right.
Blow that up a little bit.
That is as large. Well, I tell you what, let me do this. Let me do it a different way. Share screen, advanced portion of screen. Where's that green box? Here it is. See if this is any larger. I think that is a little bit larger, easier to see maybe.
I blew it up on my own where I can look at it, okay? But let me tell you some key information. It said we opened the week at 598.38. We're currently 599, so we're up for the week on the QQQ. It is saying that current price is around 600, and it's basically saying, if you look down there, it looks to me, you can write this number down, 602.20. You get above that, this market's going to go higher. It gives you the numbers. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I wrote it out, but if you look right down.
Yeah, I wrote it down too. 602 is the big number today. 602.20.
There it is right there on.
Does everybody understand how powerful this is for you each day to have? Gives you the number right there, 602.20. There's no emotions there, is there?
No emotions, just numbers, Tom. Wait for QQQ to get above that, 602.20.
Yeah, always use your tools. This is just one tool that gives you what this tool does for me. I got a lot going on, right? And and it brings it to my attention, and real quick, I don't have to go look it up. I know the numbers by looking at what's giving me. That's 602.20 right there in the reference levels down there. So that's what I like about it. Say it's a time saver, a big time saver. Orion. Any questions about this? Do we have a video they could listen to? Give more details. When we come back, maybe we'll do some more trading things to open up for it. What do you think?
Yeah, it's 11:19, so Genesis reference bar is not quite formed yet. Let me dig up the video to play Orion, but if you want to go ahead and get joined with Orion, the link is detailtrader.com/Orion, and I'll be right back, Tom, with that video.
Yeah, anytime that you can have your research staff, which is Orion, get you on the right side of the world, it's going to pay for itself. No, Rob, the QQQ needs to go above 602.20. Set an alert at 602.20, then you could do the Orion. Okay? Has to go above 602.20. But it's telling me it's neutral, which, you know, you look at this market, you might come with, hey, it's bearish, but no, it's neutral right now based on what's happening today. More to go, but at least right now, that's what it's telling me. Take it away, Jonathan. Future results. We did this to give you an edge where you will be able to follow along and have the technical tools a lot of people out there have that you don't have because we had the programming power to do it. Now, in any trade approach, there will be losers. You got to be aware of that. You got to use level bet. Does everybody know what I mean when I say use level bets? Basically, what I'm saying is keep every trade equal dollars. That's the secret. Every trade equal dollars. Everybody give me a yes if you understand that. So if you buy 10 contracts at $1, that's $1,000. So every trade should be $1,000. That's what I'm saying. For those that are new, we got a lot of new people here. I'm Tom Busby. And what you're about to hear, you won't hear from anybody else because this is something that's reaching for the stars. I started markets way back in the 1970s. Since then, I've been featured everywhere. I paid my prices. I paid my dues. And if you ever listen to me, I think you get it figured out pretty quick that real trading is not easy. It takes discipline and it takes a process. 3 of my books, Winning a Day Trading Game in 11 different languages, The Markets Never Sleep, published years ago when I foresaw that one day we'll be trading stocks 24 hours. And of course, that attitude you got to have, trade to win. Now, I had a Globex terminal. That was the forerunner to what you're doing today, electronic trading. I was trading electronically when people didn't know you could do it through the exchange. I was one of the very few people that had this outside of Chicago. It was quite a machine. One of only 50 in the entire world at the time. I started a school called the Day Trading Institute back in 1996, later changed the name to Diversified Trading Institute. We're known as DTI all over the world. I built that school, that building, because I wanted traders to have a place to come and learn and educate themselves. With the technology improving now, I still do small classes here in Ponte Vedra, Florida, 5 to 8 people. This class happens to have 9, Adam. and one large meetup in the summer that happens at TPC where they have the players tournament. And that is Bill in the picture. But it never stopped me from always trying to find an edge in the market. It's what traders do. And that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. An easy way to deliver to you Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, these type trades. Using technology to do it. Taking my strategy. But I mean it sincerely. Now, I don't mean it's better or any more accurate. What I mean is all the work I do to deliver has been programmed as a strategy to come direct to you. Consistently, Tuesday through Friday. These 20, 25% gains, you made a lot of those trades with me over time. Now I've got it programmed. I think you're going to love it. Most traders will never think about this particular segment I'm in. They deliver the unique potential to take $1 for an option and turn it into a 20, 25% gain. Nothing odd or lucky about going there. I've proven it to you for years. You can do it. Now it's going to be programmed. It's going to be a strategy. We call it Orion. The phenomenon is real. It's buried in that market a lot of people don't know about. I understand it. I've shared it with you in the past, and I think you're going to love it. What's so beautiful about this? You know the time to look, how to set up looks, and the trade to take. A lot of the hard part, and the option to buy. Just how to leverage it and use it, using level bets, and how options actually work, because most traders get it wrong. An option price is basically the market's answer to one question. What are the chances it ends up worth something? For example, if SPY is trading at 690, a 650 call expiring next month is going to be expensive. That's what it looks like, because the market says there's a high chance it'll end up valuable. That's the way options work. A 750 call, very cheap, are telling you it probably won't be worth anything by expiration date. That's simple enough to understand the two extremes. But here's where it gets interesting. Here's where experience comes to play. You look at these out of the money options and think lottery ticket, not lottery tickets when I traded. Imagine you could buy that cheap option and likely expire at zero, but every once in a blue moon they could hit it big. Or you're lighting a few bucks on fire on a massive win. In fact, I've heard traders refer to these options as lottery tickets. That's not what makes these options special. What makes them incredibly unique is how sensitive their price is to small changes. Let me show you exactly what I mean. The football game that explains everything. Imagine Georgia is playing Marshall. You know who Marshall is, you know who Georgia is. Georgia is one of the best programs in the country. And that's not just me being biased. Marshall's not. The odds makers give Georgia a 98% chance to win. Now, if Georgia scores a touchdown on the opening drive, what happens to the odds? They tick from 98 to 99. It got higher. A 1% improvement. If you bet on Georgia, your position barely moved. But what if Marshall scores that opening touchdown instead? Nobody said that. Now somebody thinks Marshall's going to win, but the odds shift from 2% to 4%. That's a 100% movement. You see the percentage in using the numbers this way, it really explains it well. 100% increase in value from the exact same action on the same field. Marshall odds are far more sensitive to what happens along the way. Option market works exact same way. Take a look at the SPY from Friday. Safe income trade sitting comfortably below. Current price is already valued at 80 cents on the dollar. Even in the best case scenario, you're looking at about a 20% upside. But to trade our system is priced at 33 cents on the dollar with over a 200% of theoretical room to move. Now here's the key. Same price move that pushes the safe trade from 80 to 82 can push our trade from 33 cents to 50. Same movement. Now think about what that means. $1,000 in the safe trade, you're up 25 bucks. In our trade, you're up 515 on the same movement. The key is knowing when to place the trade and how to place it. That's a 20x difference in return on the same underlying asset in the same time frame on the same move. Because the pricing sensitivity of those options, and that's what we've cracked. We're not holding these positions hoping for a home run. We know they'll probably expire worthless at the end of the expiration, but we don't care about that, do we? We're not marrying these options. We're dating these options. We care about their potential to gain outside value along the way. We only care about capturing that 25% income. Stock doesn't need to do anything dramatic, just needs to move enough to shift the unlikely to the slightly less unlikely. That small shift in story is where the quick gains live. Over the past few months, we've been building a system to capture these exact opportunities, to capture that 20 to 25% sweet spot in the shortest amount of time possible. And here's the beautiful thing about it. Everybody that I show this to says, Orion, I love the name. Give me a yes if you love the name of Orion. You're going to love it better when it starts paying you Tuesday through Friday. When it pays. Here's how it works. Every day it scans the markets using DTI method for breakout opportunities in either direction. Automatically alerts us throughout the day, let us know if the trade is imminent. When an official breakout is triggered, the algorithm scans the entire option market, searching for the secondary options that are most sensitive to price change we can take advantage of. When we find the exact option, we generate that option setup and we get our returns within 72 hours. Anybody ever heard me use the word 72 hours? We build it in. It fires those details and automatic updates straight to the private Orion Telegram channel. It gives you the ticker, exact options, price, target, exit instructions. One of the favorite things about the way our Orion works, if the trade hadn't hit our target within 72 hours, we move on and look at the next one. We keep it simple. Simple is good. Take a look at December 26th. Well, most of us still recover from Christmas. Orion was scanning the market for these opportunities. It printed this out. It told us the exact options to buy. It told us where to set our sell at. And it told us about the time stock within 72 hours close the position. Not hard to follow, is it, with those contingencies? That was a short opportunity on the QQQ. It is neutral to which way the market goes. It sets up where the best opportunities there and odds favor, up or down. Notice the trade structure we're looking for QQQ go below 618 by January 16th. Now look at the current chart of QQQ. It's not looking so good for QQQ below 618 that week. But remember, we don't actually care about that one because we're already out of it at our profit. So when the QQQ dropped, it smashed our target the next day, we're gone. In truth, I never believed the market was below 618 in January when we did the trade. But as you know, I was very bullish on January 2026. But that's not the point. The market said go short. We took it. What made this trade work so powerful is how we grabbed an easy 25% gain, even though the market was weeks away from knowing the result of the final trade. Does everyone see the difference here, what we're doing? We're letting the market determine, regardless of what we think, the most appropriate direction to take, the time to take it, the profit that we're going to take and where we're wrong when we get out 72 hours later. This is the key to Orion right here. This is not a lottery trade. It's a high odds trade setting up that we're going to take advantage of. Take advantage of these small changes in the odds along the way to produce these outside gains. The Orion algo combines the two powerful forces, what might be the best trade I ever come up with. You use the DTI method to find it, the exact moment to get in, the exact option to take, the exact direction to take, and now it's in play. And of course, when the price is moving, it will change the value of the options. Second, it identifies the exact options most sensitive to that price shift, so that when the price does move, we get the biggest payout possible. Here's a signal on January 6th. Look at the signal. Signal was long, January 6th. Now remember this trade, you should remember this one, we made it. As you see, Orion found options looking for the QQQ to hit 639 by January the 30th. Notice the price of the QQ never got near that 639, nowhere near January 30th, not even January 30th right now. It's remarkable how consistent this is. Generated a 25% return in a few hours thanks to our special option Orion identified to create an outside gain. You see in what I think might be the best trade setup that we've come up with in all these years, because I'm not having to do the work because the work's already inside the algo. I love it. And Orion on December 19th, Medallion members have had access and they're screaming about how good it was. Mary Ann was with me Thursday and Friday one-on-one. She said, hey, we got an Orion signal. I'm over there trading and I said, good. My goal is to trade this through Q1, prove its most dynamic income opportunity entire market for 2026. We'll open it up to the public after that, April or May. But today we're opening up 30 pre-release spots for anyone who wants to test alongside Jonathan and me. When we open this up to the public, I will plan to price it at $19.95 per year. It's going to be a steal for folks who understand the power of Orion. But if you're one of the first 30 in the door, takes it, you'll be an Orion founding member. It gives you special benefits, like the masterclass I'm going to do Friday, which means you can pay $19.95 to access to Orion algo and real-time alerts and never pay again. The lifetime access to Orion is just $19.95 if you want to go on and lock it down. If you decide to charge more than $19.95 per year, you'll be locked in at that price. Let's drop the link. Drop the link, dtitrader.com/Orion. Call our team at 904-706-3532. On top of that, you will get lifetime VIP membership for $19.95. Sign up for Orion Trade Alerts right now. Take one of the spots. You won't pay more. You're locked in. We had our first guy through the door. Glenn, thank you so much. 29 left. Now I have a masterclass set up for Friday because we're going to really milk this sucker. So be part of it. We'll walk you through the trade step by step, teach you how to make Orion one of the #1 trading tools. Let me answer some questions I'm sure you have about Orion. How does Orion find these specific opportunities? First, Orion dynamically updates the reference levels we have had each day and monitors price action for a breakout or breakdown. Then uses state-of-the-art options data feed, one that costs about $100,000 per year, to dig through the options chain and find a specific trade that's most sensitive to the upside potential to the breakout. That's what you don't have, you will have in Orion. It recognizes the trade in detailed alerts, sends it in real time to our private Orion Telegram channel. Does Orion trade both directions? Give me a yes. It does. It's based on our method. When the market goes up, goes down during that time frame, it trades. Finds the exact option to trade and take advantage. When do I lose? Do I lose 100%? Always, there's that rare possibility, but odds are, since we're getting out in 72 hours, no. That's the big benefits of Orion. The clock ticks from the time you enter the trade 72 hours later. Exit trade with a small gain or small loss if it doesn't hit the target. Even better, because these secondary options are already priced in low probability, probably don't lose value as quickly as something closer in. How do I know when to get out? Every Orion trade gives you the exact target to set on the trade. You know exactly where to take your profit. The lifetime membership, $19.95, only 30 of it. Take it. You won't pay $4,000. You won't pay $5,000. You'll be locked in at this price, VIP. Believe, because it does work, and you will see it work in real time, along with me and Jonathan would do it. 29 left. Glenn was first. Just tell me if you're coming in where I can count it down. We'll pull down the slide. Thank you very much. Any questions, ask them. It's going to be a tremendous week. I hope you're part of it. Cindy's in, 28 left. James is in, 27 left. Tuesday through Friday, there'd be 4 trades maximum a week, William. You'll have to take it all, but you can't. Now, don't join Dave if that's the issue. 26. Got to take a chance sometimes. You know how good this stuff is. You're going to love it at this price. All right, we're down to 24. Since I'm not going to miss a founding special yet, hadn't done it all these years. Way to go, Glenn. Steve, I can tell you it's going to be somewhere around 4 out of 5, okay? 4 out of 5. Every trade. The difference is 23, Allen's in. If you want to talk to Kelly or Jeffrey, put your name, phone number in there. Adam will reserve one of the spots for you. Allen was smart by doing it. He got him a spot doing it. Around 12 o'clock, iPads in. I think we're down to about 19 left.
Got a 5-minute timer running. We'll play the song when the timer's up. We'll be back for part 3 of today's marathon trading. Tom did issue a new trade while we're in part number 2. Let me repost that. Buzzfly trade on GDX. Folks were getting filled around 96 cents or so on that trade. Anywhere between 94 to $1 would be a good fill. Targeting $1.19. Good till cancel. Be back in 4 minutes.
market like a riverboat man. Oh, T-Buzz, he's trading his way through the peaks and the falls, come what may, with a gut full of grit and a heart that won't sway. T-Buzz, he did it his way. He watches the charts like the stars in the sky, looking for answers, a reason why. Some call it luck, some call it skill, but Tom just calls it paying the bills. Through the red and the green, he's danced with a line. Every loss and each win, a tale of his time. Oh, T-Buzz, he's trading his way through the peaks and the falls, come what may, with a gut full of grit and a heart that won't sway. T-Buzz, he did it his way. Not every day's a victory, not every trade a gold, but he's learned to weather storms, let the stories unfold. With his eyes on the prize, his heart in the fray, T-Buzz stands tall at the end of the day. Not every day's a victory, not every trade a gold, but he's learned to weather storms, let the stories unfold. With his eyes on the prize, his heart in the fray, T-Buzz stands tall at the end of the day. Not every day's a victory, not every trade a gold, but he's learned to weather storms, let the stories unfold. With his eyes on the prize, his heart in the fray, T-Buzz stands tall at the end of the day. Not every day's a victory, not every trade a gold, but he's learned to weather storms, let the stories unfold.
Hey, folks, we got a market right now that's that looks like it's trying to turn negative. It's at 68.35. We got up that 65 number, so we know that's a good number. Very interesting when you look at the setup, though. If you draw a line across the body of RB3, you're right at support, and body, I'm talking about that, yeah, that body right there. It looks to me like you're right at support. The market's a little confused, I think, a little confused. I'm confused.
About 68.30 area is the midpoint of RB3.
68.30, yeah.
Right.
And 38 is the midpoint of the day. So got a little resistance here as it's pulled back. But I think it's interesting because I'm sitting here looking at things. You got the QQQs coming off now, 597.60. Just will not trend. It will not trend. Can't make it trend. It won't trend.
Yeah, Tom, this is one of those markets where if you're thinking about buying a call option or put option, you're probably better off turning it into some kind of premium trade.
Yeah, yeah, and that's so true, Jonathan, because you sit here and look at it. If you look at, you look at this, you got a market penetrating the sell zone here right at one, and pretty interesting. I mean, I find it very interesting that the market's doing this. You know, we went down, and then you had the rally all the way up to 68.65, which that was very unusual for that to occur, but it didn't get higher than RB3. We're really trading inside RB3, aren't we?
Yeah, we are all day long. With
Yeah,
your 65 number as clear resistance, clear as day there.
yeah, clear as day. Put GDX in there. Let's take a look at it.
GDX.
It's at the top end of the reference bar.
I'll draw some lines here. That's where the spread starts, right around there. The target's 103. And our
I think it's very
protection's up
possible.
here.
It's very possible you can get there. Now we got 72 hours to dance.
That's right.
You know, I really think I'm going to do a 97.96 put. Look and see what they paid me for a 97.96 put.
Let's see.
Fire and fry.
Yep. Okay. I have 20, only 3 days since we had the Monday holiday. 97.96 put spread. It's still paying about 25 to 30 cents, depending on where the market maker would fill you. Marked at 26 midpoint right now for the for the February 20th. Sell 97 put, buy 96 put.
What if you went out a week? Not this Friday, but maybe 27th.
Feb 27th, selling the 97 put, buying the 96. The spread is a little bit wider, but it's marked at a midpoint of 33 cents right now. But the should say the spread for this Friday is marked true. Not sure about the spread for next Friday. When more liquidity comes in there, the price might go up a little bit.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you took 30 plus cents in, you got 70 cents of risk. If the stock itself, put GDX in there. Was that GDX in there?
Let's see. What am I showing here? I'm showing roadmap. Yeah, that's GDX.
All right, do a daily on it.
Let me take the lines off. There's a daily chart of GDX.
That red where we gapped up and took off, was that high there? Over there before that big run. Up to 110. No, over left. Go left. That one. That red bar down there.
Oh, this high right here.
Well, no, the one, that red bar. Yeah, that high. What's that high?
This high. 98.5.
Okay. That gives me a little confidence because you got a lot of support there at 97 to 98. Let's do Friday week 90. Let's do what do you say, 96, 95?
We're looking at 97, 96, but if we make it to 96, 95 for Friday week, you're getting about 26 cents credit midpoint right now.
Let's do that one.
26 cents or higher.
Yeah.
It might fill you more than that. Just work a limit.
Let's do that one. That sort of matches the other trade we have, which is the long. And I think I like it. Let's do it.
Typing it up. 96.95 credit put spread.
Yeah, do it as a bonus for the silver wheel.
Targeting 11 cents or lower.
Yep. Now here's the way this is going to work, folks. If we make the 20% on the buzz fly, this one here will be down at 11 cents. And I think it's going to happen. So let's do it. Make it happen. I'm focused on this GDX. I've been following it now for about a month, and I sort of feel like that it wants to go higher, especially with the 27th being a key date for the metals. Okay. Yeah, Wendy, all it needs to do is get to 103 and we'll ring both bells. And y'all remember it. Say, man, I took that trade at the marathon. That's the only two trades I think the odds are in our favor of making. And again, if you look at the 30-minute, we're at the top end of the reference bar, so it makes a lot of sense to try it. Everybody see what I'm talking about at the top end of the reference bar? If it goes positive, then be glad you did the trade. All right, folks, that's two trades today. Jonathan, you want to talk a little bit because of the breakout in bonds about Anchor?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Let's go to the slide deck. Tom, got a few slides here for it. 3 straight winners last week.
This is an offset. This is a great diversification. If you don't have Anchor, I think it's worth playing the tape, letting listen to it. But let's go through the slides and cover what it did.
Yeah, after a bit of a stagnant period where bonds weren't moving much, we started to get some action, some bullish action in TLT and bonds. And this was from February 9th. Said trade probability was a high chance. So that puts you on high alert to look for a trade. And there's the posting from Feb 9th. Said new trade on TLT, playing it bullish. Mentioned that there was a big report. So I wanted to be out before that, ideally. And the next morning it came through with the profit, 19% winner overnight in TLT. Came up again last week on February 12th. Another bullish signal. We got in about 83 cents. We had CPI in the morning. Said don't chase. Next morning, market was up for TLT. Another 18% winner overnight. Simple trades. A very stable market, TLT. Anybody can trade it. It's the perfect program if you're new to trading.
Yeah, and Peg, you might be on something. I might do that tomorrow, okay? I've already gave 2 trades today for the silver wheel, but I might want to integrate a wheel for this one. I like it because it's got a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Good idea. We don't care as long as we make money, right? Another 18%, huh?
Another 18%. Like you said, 3 expirations a week gives you a minimum three opportunities, if not more.
Yeah, and I think I heard something today gave me an idea. I want to look at it, and I'll be ready to go tomorrow with that. But before we show this thing, go back and look at that chart on GDX. Y'all see that, ladies and gentlemen? The market's talking to me, I guess, with GDX. Look at it. 119, Jonathan. What do you think about that? That's pretty good. That's a magic trick. A magic trick. All right, let's go listen to Anchor because I know a lot of people would like to be in there. So we'll play that. And Jonathan, if you'll buzz me, I'll come back on. We'll look at market one more time after Anchor.
Okay, sounds good. Let's cue up the tape. I'll play the song and let you know, Tom, when we're done.
Stratman, about 1 o'clock is your time.
Okay, a lot of you have
Heard me talk about Anchor. This is a unique trade that's a diversification, if you think about it, a diversification from what you do. Meaning, regardless of the trend of the week, this is taking the bond market and taking advantage of what I would call a great setup with limited risk and big payouts. This thing will average about 5 trades a month, but if you use what I taught you on the masterclass, that multiplies by at least 3 by using the masterclass technique. Now, we show that our outcome is about 80% of the time. I like that. $458, you put up $2,500. And the nice thing about it, even though you put up $2,500 to play it, okay, typically, even when you're wrong, it only loses a couple hundred because of the techniques we develop. That's what I like about this trade. I'll be doing this trade tomorrow, matter of fact. And I don't think the time for this could be any better than what's going on right now as we make the transition from December to March. You've seen all the headlines, but here's a way for you to have a grind trade. Does everybody understand the term grind trade? What I mean by that? If you do this and you put up $2,500 a pop, you should average about 2 a week using the techniques with the master class. Those are advanced, but they're not that advanced. Just tell you the numbers to use outside the window. You know, Americans are struggling, been sticky high since the 4 years of 20+% inflation. Even though inflation's coming down, they're still sticking up high. Probably never will go back below where we started 4 years ago because they're up here now. When inflation grips the country, they just don't come back down when inflation slows. I always think about the hamburger, the Big Mac. In the 80s, about 65 cents. Anybody bought a Big Mac lately? You look at about $6.95, jumping ahead from the 90s. It's $1.60 in the 90s. It just kept growing, right? Still a pretty good burger, isn't it? Unfortunately, that's just how inflation works in the real world. The new normal takes over. Wages are up, everything's up, which means Americans still need more cash flow to cover the highest cost of living, even under the best of circumstances. But here's the thing. Most income methods are still dependent on the overall stock market, not with the anchor. When the S&P is grinding higher, they perform well. When it's shaky or in bear market, that income will dry up, not with anchor. And what's good is extra income for tough times when it doesn't actually work into tough times. The new method doesn't rely on the S&P or the overall stock market. It's actually much bigger than that. It's the bond market. We did a education last week on fixed income. Did y'all watch that? Take 20 22, for example. In the midst of a total meltdown in the broad market from March to June, it happened. We were short, I remember. On February 24th, we had a stability trigger filled with a 23% opportunity on the anchor trade. Despite all the chaos going on elsewhere, you could play out with this ticker. The ticker's TLT. It doesn't move a lot, but it has 3 expiration dates a week. And in April, as the slide continues, the study shows another opportunity with a trigger, ignoring the chaos in the rest of the world, but this is a consistent grind trade, stable opportunity. Paid out 21.9% income, $587 on that $2,500 bet. Now, while most income methods hit a brick wall during this period of time, in a bear market, TLT does not. Anchor trades would continue to plug along with a 76% win rate, positive expectancy throughout the year. Now think about that. Since 2022 to 2025, the trades got better. Because anyone can activate this trade from any broker in a matter of a few clicks. As our automated, since we automated it, it fires off the opportunity between the hours of 12 and 1. Doesn't matter if you have a large account targeting 10,000 extra income per week, or if you start with $500, you can play this because $100 or more is the minimum cost to get in to a $58 trillion asset. All you need is a brokerage account, access to the private Anchor Trades Telegram channel. We have a channel in there. We always are posting updates. Brand new way to target extra income. While everybody else is looking that way, we're looking over here and fattening our nest. Now, I'm not telling you to quit your job or go all in on the next opportunity. Have level bets. It's meant as a simple way to add extra income when opportunity triggers. In other words, unless you got a 7-figure account, this isn't meant to replace your income overnight. But I don't know about you, having a stable source of income on average is a good way to grow your assets, even though there's bound to be winners and losers. Now, we can't promise any future results, but this is incredibly hard to maximize the wins and limit the losses. Right inside that $58 trillion US bond market. Now, the bond market itself has a lot of interesting benefits. Some we get into a few minutes, but here's the big one most people have no idea. Actually, before I tell you, let me ask everyone a question. What is the proper price of the S&P 500? What is its true value? Somebody said, hey, how much is that S&P worth? How would you answer? Let me know. Tell me what you think the S&P is worth. Type it in here. Play along. This is an important point we're trying to make. A lot of great answers, but the real answer is where supply meets demand. That's the price, the balancing of that. Now, bond price is just what people feel like it should be. They're mathematically, financially calculated. They have an objective pricing formula that all bonds work off of. And they can be either right or wrong relative to the price bonds are trading in real time. There's the formula if you want to use it. Nobody uses that, not unless you stopped in some back room somewhere. You don't have to get in the weeds to do all that. You just have to understand bonds are unique in that way. You can project the price by calculation. That's why one of the deepest research papers ever constructed from 2014 Journal of Financial Markets makes a stunning conclusion. Empirical evidence strongly suggests that corporate bond market returns are predictable. In other words, stability is in the bond market. That's why you hear people say, you ought to be diversified to bonds. Anybody ever heard that? Pretty cool. Now, knowing that fact is a way to capitalize it. We do it now by running a study on our Genesis bars. You know about Genesis. Assets most stable under certain conditions for the purpose of generating income from those assets. That's when data revealed something that shouldn't have shocked us, but it did. The SPY delivered 51.22% win rate during that time period. QQQ delivered a 48.78% win rate. IWM, 47.3% win rate. Gold, 52.94. All the key commodities, USO, 56.76. That's crude oil. But TLT delivered at 80.77%. It's a grinding trade, folks. It's a grinding trade. If you take a few minutes and watch the master class we put together, it opens up a whole world of opportunity for you. Understanding a few numbers, you know what to look for, when to look for it, and how to play it when you see it. And that's the moment we realized we could skim cash flow with built-in advantage using $58 trillion mega asset. In fact, Jonathan presented these 80% accurate findings. We had him dive deeper and cover nearly 10x the time span under the same conditions. And the results for TLT barely budged, going from 80.7% to 80.3%, even as the data itself completely changed. That proved, in my opinion, beyond a doubt, there was some real magic in this trading opportunity. Everybody here ought to be doing it. What we're doing is using that stability to place a special type trade. It has the power to pay out nearly 5x the annual amount that TLT pays in one day. Overnight. Put it in, get out the next day. Let me show you what I mean. On November 11, we got a full go in TLT as it met all our stabilization requirements. Notice it tells you the opportunity was bullish on this day. It gives you the numbers. It tells you the trade to do. Direction. All the market checkpoints were hit. And it tells you your desired threshold to validate the trade. All factors aligned at 12:38. Automated system fired off the exact trade details in the private Telegram channel with step-by-step instructions. Can't get easier than that, folks. It does the work for you. And from there, we just wait for TLT to remain relatively stable to collect the income in less than 24 hours. That's the way it looks. As long as it's in the green zone, you make money. Remember, about $58 trillion in the market, very stable, regardless of what's going on in the market. It's unique, it's massive, and it gives you diversification off your regular schedule. Let me get you involved with the anchor, place the trade through the private channel, get your invitation, get in there tonight, let's trade it tomorrow. And I've considered keeping anchor trades available on our exclusive members, analyze the data, we open it up. Let me tell you why. Number one, anchor trades to work at all different types of market conditions. Market goes up, works. Market goes down, works. Market spins, it works. Anchor trades have incredibly consistent with historical accuracy of nearly 80%. You know that going in. Number three, anchor trades keep losses mitigated. Even when you lose, it's not the full boat of loss. That's the beautiful thing about this. And your risk on reward is outstanding because of that. Number four, easy to follow, easy for somebody new. It's the easiest way I know to be involved in the bond market without lost in the weeds. Anchor trades are small account friendly. You don't need a lot of money to do this trade. Average trade costs you about $82 per contract. That's why we invite you to become a founding member tonight. Only service I know of completely dedicated to doing it. Whether you have high inflation, low inflation, or any political changes, it still works. 5 years of data produce this account. Small account friendly, average 458 on that 2,500 investment, and 80% success. You can't get a better setup than that. You can look all over. And the best part is we made the alerts incredibly easy to follow through the real-time automated Anchor Trades private channel. Our custom algorithm scans TLT 24/7, looking for a setup for the anchor. It's pulling a whole lot of data in, including to find the proper net asset value along with our proprietary reference bottoms. Very simple. Every day at 12:05, you get a heads up. This is where every day you get this and you take this from the actual anchor trade to the master trade that I taught you. We call this the heads up because it lets you know where we stand, what option is in play, and what to do. It gives you the details right there in the lower left-hand column. You know which option to do, how to do it, and when the numbers go, you go. Tells you where to begin to trigger, simple to read, tells you where you're wrong, price TLD break above for a bullish one to trigger on that day, and it tells you how to trade as triggered the next hour or so prepared. Perfect. And when we get a trade, it's even simpler. It spits it out automatically, posted in the Telegram in real time with exact trade details. It includes the option strikes, what the expiration date is, the current price it's at, and your return on investment potential. You know everything up front. Follow the step-by-step trade instructions, set up your own anchor income opportunity. Again, everybody here that wants to make money in a diversified way, this is the program for you. I'm sure you make anchor trades a full premium service cost as much as we want to charge for it. We didn't do that with this, especially when you count for the tens of thousands of dollars we spent just making the computing power work. Total of $69,507 to keep this thing running. It's that value. But don't worry, you don't have to pay that as part of our group. You set it up and target at $460 in less than 48 hours. Now, nobody can predict the future. We can't guarantee that, or this next opportunity will happen tomorrow, but I'll be there looking during that time period. If it's a simple direct trade, we take it. If it's a trade that I taught outside that time zone, I'll take it also. Our historic shows us as long as the 58 trillion bond markets doesn't go off the rails, you expect $460 to hit your account within 48 hours. You know what to look for. Once you do this trade, you see exactly how simple and straightforward it is. So the anchor trades, this is what we did to get people involved. We said $460 per year. That's one trade at $2,500 going your way. Our first load gives you a chance to pay off the whole year, but let me be clear. I don't know how long that price will last. We've said that. We're not guaranteeing that price. We got a limited number of spots, first come, first serve. If you want to make sure you don't miss the opportunity, tonight's the night you better join. Be the best $468 you spend putting money in your pocket. Inside the members area, inside the report title, we have a 30X trade we're working. That's a trade, a long-term trade. We're working on this. Pretty neat, costs you about $15. $15. That's the kind of trade I like. Now, of course, for that moonshot trade, the conditions exist that make it achievable, and just one tiny contract will pay for your total price if we hit it on the moonshot. That's what I'm hoping for with outside trade opportunity. Just make sure you have the spare cash to make that bonus. If you want to, you get an instant $15 rebate off the Anchor Trade membership. Charge you $445 for your entire year. That's right, $445. Go to DTItrader.com/anchor. Call it up, get a member, watch the master class, get into the Telegram channel. If you have any questions, call our team at 904-706-3532. As soon as you lock in your membership, you log into our one-click trading portal, and you'll see how to join the trade step by step in a few clicks. From there, you get every alert to your phone or computer. If you're not using Telegram before, it's easy to join. We have a short guide to members area to walk you through the setup. Very simple. If you don't have it on your phone already, And if you paid attention today, you know this is just another trade setup. I'm sure keep those secrets behind closed doors and charge another $9.97 for access to the strategy itself. But founding members will get all the details inside the Anchor Trade Strategy Guide. Step-by-step guide explaining the whole thing. And it's included free inside your Anchor Trades founding membership. Get the 30X trade, get the private access to the private Telegram channel, and you get the strategy guide with it. If you're new to options, we got you completely covered there. Inside your members area, you'll be find a step-by-step video on how to place these income trades. I teach it, so I know it's simple. And if you want to dive a bit deeper into the bond market so you have an even better understanding, we include a class that Jeff had done for $297 at no extra charge. We want you to understand. The live master class tomorrow at 12:30. Claim your Anchor Trades founding membership for just $445 now. And that's it, folks. That's it. Get involved. Any questions about it? I'm averaging about 3 of these a week using my advanced techniques. And I think that's what you got to do is go through the master class I've done. You'll get access to that as early as 12:30 tomorrow. Any questions? Yeah, I'll do another class, master class too, Jennifer. Let's do it at the end of the week. That way you'll have questions for the new people that join tonight. They can write out their questions. We can answer those at the end of the week, okay? Let's do that at the end of the week. I'll be glad to do another one. I've learned how to even make more trades with this sucker. We'll talk about that. Folks, you got an opportunity at that low $445 to be a member. Don't pass it up. David will have him re-entered tomorrow. Check and make sure you go through it, get signed in. The main thing you want to get in tonight is the Telegram channel with your invite, okay? We'll get you there.
I was going to say, Don.
All right, folks, let me put a 5-minute timer up. And then Tom will be back to finish up the day in about 5 minutes.
ticker flows, a coffee cup, a steady hand. He trades the market like a riverboat man. Oh, T-Buzz, he's trading his way through the peaks and the falls, come what may, with a gut full of grit and a heart that won't sway. T-Buzz, he did it his way. He watches the charts like the stars in the sky, looking for answers, a reason why. Some call it luck, some call it skill, but Tom just calls it paying the bills. Through the red and the green, he's danced with a line. Every loss and each win, a tale of his time. Oh, T-Buzz, he's trading his way through the peaks and the falls, come what may, with a gut full of grit and a heart that won't sway. T-Buzz, he did it his way. Not every day's a victory, not every trade a gold, but he's learned to weather storms, let the stories unfold. With his eyes on the prize, his heart in the fray, T-Buzz stands tall at the end of the day. Not every day's a victory, not every trade a gold, but he's learned to weather storms, let the stories unfold. With his eyes on the prize, his heart in the fray, T-Buzz stands tall at the end of the day. Not every day's a victory, not every trade a gold, but he's learned to weather storms, let the stories unfold. With his eyes on the prize, his heart in the fray, T-Buzz stands tall at the end of the day. Not every trade a gold, but he's learned to weather storms, let the stories unfold.
Hey, Jonathan, why don't we go to a live roadmap market and take a look?
All right, Tom, got the E-mini 30-minute chart.
E-mini looks like it's trying to get a bid here, gets above 65. I think we'll go higher. All right, NASDAQ. What's that number up there, Jonathan? Needs to get above RB3's high.
About 24,800.
I say let's let it go. Dow. Y'all see how parallel everything is? Now the Dow is a little weaker today. Needs to take out, needs to go quite a bit to get it rolling. All right, crude oil.
Crude now in the April contract, by the way. April crude.
Yep. Okay. Gold. What's that go? 49.22 above RB3, Jonathan? I'm just looking at it.
About 25, yeah, 25, 26.
That looks pretty good. Look at silver.
$74.70.
We need silver above 74.70. Throw it back in play, right?
Right.
All right, let's look at GDX. Out of 8,000 stocks, let the record reflect. You don't need a lot of tickers, but out of 8,000 stocks, I picked GDX. And GDX, we picked it about 99.50 to 70. It's at 180 right now, 180 in 94. I'd say that's a pretty good stock picking exercise I did today. Check what we did, see where they stand. We'll let everybody go.
Yeah, the
Right.
bus flies, Tom, and bus flies up about 10% already, doing real good.
All right. That just made my day.
Yep.
Folks, it was like, typically I could find 8 to 10 trades when I look at the market as hard as I did today. That was the only trade that I felt like where the odds were in our favor. If it gets about 103, 104, we better ring the bell there and say, thank you very much, Marathon. Peg, let me just tell you something. Here's what you need to know about me. I'm going to be right about 4 out of 5 times. If I do 1,000 trades, it's going to come in 4 or 5 times. I never know when I'm wrong. The 5th, when it's going to pop up, okay? And you just got to take it. I know I didn't want to take it either, but I really had to take what the market was telling me, so I took it. And I'd have been sick if I'd have been scared away. That's why I like to find risk trades. I knew what I was going to risk. I knew how I was going to do it. And so that's it. And I want to remind everybody, remember we said Orion said if the QQQ got above 602.55, it was going to turn into a buy. So I think it was good being with y'all today after this holiday, but you saw really an exercise in discipline, an exercise in patience. Goodness gracious. It was like pulling IT finding GDX. Jonathan, thank you for showing and doing all this today. And it's Tuesday. Let's have a good week.
Enjoyed it, Tom. Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, Jonathan, do me a favor. Adam's not here. Write up an email what we did today and send it out to the email group, okay?
We'll do that. And in a little while, I'll call you for the weekly trade letter as well.
Yeah, wait till the end of the day because I want to see the rest of this picture. But my desktop, who is type your name in there. It's so nice for you to say that. Look what my desktop typed in. Who's writing such poetry to my ears? Hey, Mark, you just became my favorite guy. Way to go. Thank you. All right, folks. See everybody on the flip side. Get Orion, get Anchor, get that MTI. Thank you.